Guess what, Henshin heroes? The gang's all back together this week, anyway.
Indeed.
What the heck? What the heck, Chris? You come back for a week, tease us away with your presence, and now you're just like, oh, by the way, I'm going away next week.
Yeah. Well, that just makes the heart grow fonder, and I may be back next week, or I may not be. It depends on how things go and whether I can get away from my girlfriend, and if I have any information to share from a certain Power Ranger, Kamen Rider, Ultraman.
No, the only thing I will accept is you bring your new friend John on the show with you.
I hope I'll be able to call him a new friend. That would be awesome.
Yeah. So, but anyway, for those who may not know, I'm Nathan, aka the TsuPro, and as a shout out to Crazy Gandalf himself, I am also the Spamando. I hope you're happy.
I'm Jake, aka the Metal Don or the Metal Daddy today.
And I'm Chris, the absent guy.
The absent guy, yes. Yes, you are. All I'm saying is you better have been productive. I am tired of fielding questions about where the rest of season 1 is. I have our season 1 finale sitting on my hard drive. It is a year old and it is waiting to be edited. It is sitting there and it's like, you need to edit me, Nate. You need to edit me.
Well, the good news is, and sorry for any echoes, my new place is kind of empty because didn't have a permanent residence for several years, so I'm missing stuff, but I now have a permanent residence, so I can start, and I'm unpacked, moved in, and ready to start editing full time and get season 1 out so we can start season 2. Leave Nate alone, Winja. I'm tired of hearing about it. We'll get to you, I promise. Trust me, I'm looking forward to Time Ranger.
What? Winja? Who are you talking about?
Winja's a huge fan of huge fan.
I was just saying, was he leaving comments? I was confused. Anyway.
Yeah, he's a huge fan of Time Rangers, keeps asking when we're going to cover it. So
yeah,
it's coming, sir.
I'm fielding a lot of questions from people. They want to. We need to get the momentum going. Is all I'm saying. I will say probably the best idea Jake has ever had as part of this podcast was doing these live streams. So that way we are at least doing something.
I tell you what, if I don't have at least one episode to you, if not 2 in the next 2 weeks, the Metal Daddy can give me a spanking.
Oh, on camera?
Yes.
Will that get us banned?
We might have to put it on OnlyFans, but sure.
I was going to say, will that get us banned on YouTube? I don't.
That's what OnlyFans. That's what OnlyFans and Patreon is for, sir.
Oh, well, I do have a Patreon. I've been wondering. I have seriously been wondering if I need to change the Patreon from just simply the Monster Island Film Vault to, like, I don't know, Moonlighting Ninjas podcasts or something like that. And have that, just have it be for both shows. So
once we get a steady rhythm going again, I say absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, and I also have a friend who wants to start a video podcast with me about physical media. He's got a label, he's got a logo and everything made and everything. We have a name. So we'll see how that goes, because what I need to do is give myself more to do.
Oh God, yeah. You're never busy enough. Like, you need to have at least twice as many panels at G-Fest next year.
How about you go screw yourself and then go to the actual Christian hell? Because I don't want to do that again.
I have a girlfriend.
I will say this. I will say this. I missed both of you at G-Fest this year.
I miss being at G-Fest this year.
I miss myself too.
By that much. Anyway, so life update on Chris. It sounds like things are going well. We're very happy for you. Also, I can't believe it took you as long as it did to get together with Saiyan Girl. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Jake and I were like, bro, when are you going to do something? Come on.
I'm not a fast mover, as you can tell by the...
He is a fast sleeper.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do go to sleep
I
quite
guess
fast.
we get it. We get it. I can jog faster than you can run. We know. Meanwhile,
was
the
just
metal
so
Don,
amazing.
and the metal Don. Meanwhile, the metal Don is like, Nate, I can walk faster than you can run because I'm the metal Don and I run marathons and I'm cool
Yeah.
like that.
I can't run because I turn into Kirby, and
Yeah.
sucking everything around me.
I subtly have this inclination that at some point when we hang out together, we should just all go to the gym together and see what happens.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
pumping iron together.
yeah. Saying girls trying to get me into cosplay, and I told her the only thing I could cosplay right now is Fat Boo.
Oh, I was gonna say Bob the Tomato, but okay.
Bob
Don't
the
worry, I
Tomato
was
too
thinking about
much.
doing a fat Thor.
Bro,
There we
Thor.
go. There we go. We'll show up at G-Fest next year as Fat Boo and Fat Thor. There we go.
Because that's totally on brand. Anyway,
Well, Thor fights kaiju.
True.
And Akira Toriyama has had kaiju in his Dragon Ball Z, so
Well, there you go. There you go. But yeah, so since you need to do some serious, you had to do some serious catch up here because it's just been me and Jake for a while here. So I'm gonna let you tell us what you have thought of the ZEZTZ episodes that you haven't been on to talk to us about. I don't know exactly when the last time you were on was. I wish I could remember. So it's probably been a minute. I think it was still in like the 30s, I think.
Oh God,
and
yeah, it was in the 30s.
You got to tell us. You don't have to tell us what you thought of necessarily of the end of New Generation Stars, but definitely tell us what you have thought of Teo so far. And then we'll talk about, since we weren't on last week, I was at Gen Con, my phone died, and I was hanging out with some people. So everything was working against me, unfortunately, this time for Gen Con. But as with most of my trips this summer, it wasn't as great as I had hoped it would be, but that's beside the point. So basically, we're going to do catch up until 10:30 Eastern, I should say. And then we will do our usual live reactions to the new ZEZTZ. So where do you want to go first? Chris, do you want to talk about like all the ZEZTZ episodes you missed, or you want to talk about Teo?
I'll talk about the ZEZTZ episodes, and I'll talk about the Myth teaser, then I'll get into Teo.
All right.
So ZEZTZ has not failed to disappoint whatsoever. It's just a constant roller coaster, and it's really structured like an anime. You've had arcs, like we've had, you could really call the first 25 episodes one arc almost. And then you had the downfall of you had the code arc, and now we're in the I would call it like the four master kaijin arc, four master of nightmares, I should say. I'm so used to calling everything kaijin. Yeah,
the four bosses. It's like Street Fighter 2. You beat all the other characters, and then you got to fight the four bosses.
It's been really interesting. I don't think we're going to get. I think we are filled up on writers. I don't think we'll get any new writers. I have enjoyed watching the evolution of all the characters. I'm curious to see if Sig will come back, because we're at the point where she has to remember people. She has to get her memories back. It's kind of reminds me of an anime called Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles, where this princess loses her memories, and they have to go travel through dimensions to get her memories back. It's kind of got that feel to it. So I don't know if that's their way of writing Sig off, because he said that's the way he wanted to go out. He wanted to be forgotten. So it's, in a way, it's kind of a level up. It's kind of a fitting ending to him. I'm not saying we won't see his rider. Maybe she picks up his rider blade or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but they faked us out with his death once.
Yeah, so I don't know. He might come back one more time, but I think he's had a good ending. I kind of hope he doesn't. It'd be kind of cool to see Nem be able to Henshin to fight Phantom or maybe Oblivion, maybe because Phantom's the last two were tied to her.
Didn't Oblivion get taken out already?
Yeah. Wait, did it?
I think Oblivion.
No, because you heard Oblivion and Phantom laughing. So
okay.
yeah. Oblivion's not gone, Phantom's not gone. So it'd be kind of cool to see. I'm really curious to see how Nim is going to face them because the last two are connected to her. It's been a really fun ride all the way through, and I'm really looking forward to tonight's episode.
Mm-hmm.
And that leads us into Myth, which
hold on. I have some questions.
Okay.
Because we've had a handful of crazy moments. But speaking of character death, what did you think of the end of Zero?
That was. I kind of had a feeling that it was coming because we had the reveal that he was Baku's biological father.
Baku, I am your father.
Yes. And he had a really good death about how he believed in his dream and how he believed in our dream. And he was passing it on to his son. He was trusting everything to his son. And I think the character kind of run its course as well. I thought the only way to keep him around was if he was going to start using the older Henshin belt that he rebuilt to be ZEZTZ, and then his son be Extreme.
Yeah.
Which that's a thought. Maybe Nim ends up putting on the original ZEZTZ belt.
Maybe.
It'd be kind of cool to see.
Well, that was the other question I was going to ask you, which is that was a nutty episode where they did that time-lapse dream.
Yeah.
Where it looks like Baku lived an entire lifetime just trying to build one thing, and it was to build a new belt to get his powers back.
Yeah. Well, I was on that episode. We talked about that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were on that
one.
I can't keep track of these things.
Oh, Nate.
Yeah,
I'm not forgettable.
I know. But calling this a live action anime is not too far off. But that's what I've often tried to do to sell people on Tokusatsu is I just tell them, it's just like, do you like anime? Yeah. It's just live action anime. It's all the same tropes.
Which we mean in a good way. I mean, it is whether this is anime or Tokusatsu, this has been a very good show.
Mm-hmm.
The art design, everything, it's very anime, which is smart on their part because they're trying to bridge that gap between Tokusatsu fans and anime fans because anime is so huge right now. They'd be stupid not to.
And a lot of it is being produced by Toei.
Yeah. So, man, right now Tokusatsu's lost a big series with a Super Sentai, and we really don't need Ultraman or Kamen Rider going anywhere. So do whatever you have to get some new fans in.
Yeah, and I've heard. I mean, I watched the first episode of Gavin Infinity, and apparently it only went 25 episodes, which is interesting. And they just started the next Project Red series, which is called Omega Horn, which looked like it was going to be more kaiju focused, but I've heard it be described more as like Pokemon, which sounds kind of crazy to me.
Well, since Nintendo lost that suit to Power World, why not?
When I was at Gen Con, I saw people with there was a booth for a Pal World board game, and I saw people with Pal World backpacks. Oh,
it is the next furry sensation.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. But you wanted to talk about the trailer for. Are we going to call it Myth or are we going to call it Mice or Myth? I don't know what.
It's spelled Myth, so I'm calling it Myth.
Myth, but I think it's pronounced Mice. And if you look at the writer, they're going for a mouse motif, which is a weird decision, I think.
I don't care. I'm saying myth. It's spelled myth.
Well, you're wrong, sir.
Ah,
What be the first thing I'm wrong about?
wow, he admits it. That's
At
just
least
the
I'm
power of the daddy.
Well, he
at least
can't
I'm
lie
not
to you.
guessing. I'm going by the way it's spelled. So
Well, what we still don't know, because I do think it's going to start airing basically next month.
yeah,
Because I don't think I think they're really only gonna, they're just gonna start airing it the week after the end of ZETZ. We don't know if that's gonna be simulcast or not.
I'm hoping it is. And they're talking about, well, in the trailer they did mention global distribution or global publishing, something like that. So I think it will be. I'm curious if they are willing to go out on a limb and do an English dub simulcast like Teo was doing again this year,
I don't know.
Which would be kind of cool. So far, what I saw, it's a very interesting trailer. It has my interest peaked so far. I really like the designs of the Kamen Rider suits, and we're going back with they're continuing the motif of the backpack or
The
chest
bandolier.
pack belt. Yeah, the bandolier belts. So I guess they're trying to continue the popularity of ZETZ. But it looks really good. They're obviously going a fantasy route.
Mm-hmm.
They even have, he's a butler protecting a rich girl / princess, which is very, very anime.
Mm-hmm.
Very anime. So I'm looking forward to it. It's got my interest peaked. The designs are great. All the critiques that I had, that it's kind of similar to the ZETZ outfit, but they're also different enough. I feel like there's more to them, so it doesn't feel like it's a stage play Kamen Rider in a way. Which is, the first one was kind of how the first one looked, but the suits have gotten better as they went on, so it's kind of worked out.
I don't think Myth has quite grabbed me as much as ZETZ has, at least with the trailers, but that could change. Hopefully it's the opposite of my experience with Teo, but yeah, we'll get to that in a moment.
I don't think it's going to be as big of as blowing your mind all the time as ZETZ has been, because you can't do that for too long without getting old.
No.
So if you're expecting that, you'll be disappointed. So you need to go into it with a fresh mind. It's like, okay, what are they bringing to the table this time? Kamen Rider has a way of switching genres.
That is a good point. Yeah, Kamen Rider likes to switch up genres, and Ultraman for a while has been focusing on figuring out what part of the formula they can tweak.
They didn't do much tweaking this time so far.
Well, with Teo, I would beg to differ on that, but okay.
It's very much like Omega so far.
Well, we'll get into that, unless you want to get into it now.
Unless you have any questions, I've pretty much wrapped up on
Myth. Not really, because there's not a whole lot to go on. They're promoting it hard, and it tonally, it does look like it's going to be a lighter show than ZETZ, which probably in good order.
I will say this: the way that they seem to be rivaling one another reminds me of an anime that I started watching with my ex-wife, and I'll probably end up having to watch soon. Fruits Basket.
I've heard about it.
It's based off the Zodiac, and Nobody Likes the Cat. And they were bringing that up. I'm like, this is making me think of Fruits Basket a little bit. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, what have we're gonna be? Give us. I'm gonna look at the episode list for Teo just to make sure I know what we're talking. Let's see. Give us your thoughts on the first 5 episodes of Teo, because we have 6 and ignore the stupid meme. We have 6 and 7 tonight.
6, 7.
Shut
I
up.
know.
I said
No, we
to
have.
ignore it.
You said 5 and 6, sir.
Well, I guess I got it wrong. Unless
Yeah. We're.
wait.
I
No,
don't think y'all did.
No, it is 5 and 6. I'm sorry.
Yes. So the first 4, they have. I'm going to start off with the most positive thing I have to say. The kaiju suits have been phenomenal. I've enjoyed the high quality of the kaiju suits this time.
Pardon me for interrupting, but the girlfriend's in the chat.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I figured.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, well, you're definitely going to watch Kamen Rider Myth with me. So.
Oh. And Crazy Gandalf is also in the chat. So it's Spamando J and Spamando N. Why not Spamando C? Because he's here this week. Anyway.
I see how you are, Court, right? You don't care about me.
Oh.
I got you. You left me out of the your description today and everything else.
Yeah.
I see how you are.
In his defense, he didn't know you were coming back. And you've been so absent. He's just used to the coolness that is the Nate and Jake duo over here.
Well, I can always hop out and go, do other things if you want to take it back to the Nate and Jake show.
No, how about no? We're the thrilling 3 right now. Anyway,
the thrilling threesome.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. No. We're the thrilling 3. The thrilling threesome is the OnlyFans subscription.
Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Wait, nope, that's the right one. I just didn't have my volume turned up. There you go. All right. Anyway, so the first 4 episodes, what's the biggest positive you have to say?
So far, I enjoy the designs of the kaiju. The designs for Teo is nothing special. It's not bad. It's just nothing special.
That's funny because on the MIFE Patreon, we gave that an S tier design.
It is, but it's a good design. But at the same time, there's nothing about it that makes it as unique. If you understand what I'm saying.
Other than the he's not the first primarily blue Ultraman, but it's the first one in a while.
Yeah, first one in a while. But like Omega had the I forget the name of it, but the thing that 7 introduced.
The Eye Slugger.
Yeah, this Eye Slugger, which has made his stand out a lot more. A color change, I think maybe something that we hadn't seen before would make it stand out a little bit more. But blue is such an ordinary color.
Tell that to Superman.
Yeah, but we have multiple Superman too, but they will actually change up their colors as well.
Yeah, I'm just giving you a hard time.
I know. I really like the dynamics I like the astronomy club. I love the their mascot
Poochie.
Poochie, yes, Poochie. I like Poochie quite a bit. When a plush comes out, I'm gonna have to get it for my girlfriend because she's already seen him and she thinks he's adorable.
He won't be adorable next week because the toys have already spoiled that. They spoiled that before the show started.
Yeah. Well, if he turns into what she calls a murder mittens, that'll make her happy too.
Murder mittens. Oh,
yeah. Yeah, she likes the deadly animals too. So if it can be cute and then turn deadly, she'll want the plush and the kaiju figure.
Why am I not surprised by this?
Well, she is a Vegeta fan, so
that
she's smart.
everything.
Vegeta is the goat.
You
Yes,
sure
he
she's
is.
not? You sure she's not? Well, what is her name? She popped up a few times in my Instagram feed. Oh, what is it? DBZ Blonde or whatever.
No.
Sometimes I wonder.
No, she's Saiyan Girl or Saiyan Girl 4 everywhere she goes.
I know. But
Even
anyway,
when she
so
goes to
you
court.
huh?
I said even when she goes to court.
She hasn't been to court yet.
DMV,
Yeah.
what's your name? Saiyan girl.
And on the Bible, first name Saiyan, last name girl. Anyway, so you've enjoyed the dynamic of the astronomy club,
Yeah.
the monster designs.
The only real complaint I have so far is just with the pacing and kind of the setup. I'm like, so this is Omega 2, okay?
It is and it isn't.
Yeah.
With Omega,
It's starting to differentiate itself a little bit.
The difference was Omega was an amnesiac, and this guy is he's a last survivor, so that's different.
As far as we know, I'm sure we're going to have somebody show up from his planet and be like, okay, I'm going to kill you for running away.
You see, and that's the thing. I was, other than I felt like it was tonally, like the shifts in tone in the first episode were kind of jarring. I actually loved the promise of the first episode. Jake and I went over this, and especially the tone that first trailer in particular was setting up hasn't exactly been what we've gotten. And I loved the idea of him being not only the last survivor, but it looks like he was basically a civilian, grabbed a crystar that just basically fell in his lap and ran away.
Yeah.
And so not only is he lonely, I think he has survivor's guilt, and I think he feels shame for running away, even though I think we can feasibly say there was really nothing he could have done, but that won't stop him from feeling that way. And that's why he's distant. That's why making friends with the astronomy club has been a little bit of a struggle, but he's slowly getting there. This is the writer brain, my writer brain coming out. I was starting to think that the reason why he's a veterinary student is because he feels like he has to take care of something, even if it's small.
Well, I noted. I think they're starting out with him dealing with his tendency to be a coward, to run away. Because if you notice, he did turn around to face the planet like he was going back, and then it was too late.
Yeah.
So, I think I'll reserve judgment until but I think the way that they're going to go, he's going to deal with his cowardice first. And then once he's past that, you'll have somebody from his planet show up to bring back, you took our most powerful weapon. It'll turn out like it's the most powerful one. And you ran. You only thought of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And because I think we might actually see might be a little prolonged thing. Instead of just being one episode, his enemy for a while might be another Ultra,
which would be interesting. But like I said, I was so in love with that idea that it hasn't really done a whole lot with that, other than the first, maybe especially the first episode, kind of in the next two, because one of the kaiju who destroyed his planet came to Earth, but that got resolved. So I've just been kind of in love with this idea, because this is the first time I can think of we have the star Ultraman, the title character, who arguably has a checkered past.
Mm-hmm.
And he has to deal with that. Now I've seen some new generation hero stuff where we have like Jeed. He finds out he's the son of the arch nemesis of all of the Ultras. He's the son of Belial. That's a lot to take in. And then we had Orb, and Orb, he also has amnesia, and then he starts to remember stuff, and it turns out, mild spoiler here, he inadvertently got somebody killed, and he has to grapple with that, but this is a lot of trauma just stacked on top of it, on top of each other here. And the show has been kind of kiddie and focusing more on like absurd humor and mascot characters and things like that. We've had moments of serious drama, but
well, I think they're trying to do a lot of callbacks to things throughout the 60 years, and there's parts of it that does, especially the way that the team dynamic is starting to play out. I do get a little bit of the original Science Patrol dynamic, a little bit, and the way the shows are structured feels a little bit more like the very traditional Ultraman in a way, somewhat tied together, but somewhat not at the same time. So I'm going to let it play out. I do think that we did talk. And that's one of the dangers of doing a podcast like this. We start getting ourselves hyped up and hope for start thinking if it doesn't play that way, we get disappointed. That's one reason why I'm not watching any more trailers for Endgame. I'm getting caught up on all the Marvel stuff, and I'm staying away from all the stuff online because I want to go in with as little expectation as possible so I can let the story be the story and hopefully enjoy the movie. And not because there's so many crazy theories out there that they could be right, they could be wrong. But I want to not go in expecting to see if those theories are right or not. It's like, okay, what does the story say? Then go and look at the theories after.
Yeah, I don't watch trailers at all.
Yeah, they're hard to avoid when you go to the movie theater.
Yeah,
but it's Doomsday trailer looks. Oh well. Trailer.
Literally before I got back to my apartment to get ready for tonight's stream, I saw Spider-Man Brand New Day, and they did play the Doomsday trailer beforehand. Also, quick tangent: Brand New Day is infinitely better than it deserves to be.
It's amazing.
After what it's named after, yeah.
Better than it deserves to be. Remember when the MCU was good? Brand New Day does.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, to go back to Teo right here. One of the things that makes talking about 2 episodes this week a little awkward. I don't know if you've noticed this, Chris. This is something Jake and I mentioned. This show loves 2-parters because other than the pilot, everything's been a 2-parter.
Yeah.
So last week was part 2. This week is part 1. Ends on a cliffhanger. So last week we had let me look at let me make sure I get this right. So last week's episode was Space Pod Repossession, where we got let me see. Yeah, that was last week. Written by what is it? Written by Takashi. No, it's directed by, Takashi Ninomiya, and written by Shigenori Tanabe. And this is the resolution we had to the story where our characters go off into the woods to investigate. Oh, no, they got not investigate. They got the other thing this show loves is feces. It is so ridiculous. And they even had a censored turd on last week's episode, which was just nuts.
Yeah, they did.
They did. Everything.
This show is very poop happy and it's very poop happy. And there was one monster that really I messaged you about it. Like, yeah, y'all could have warned me about the special way this one monster eats. Yeah,
the sloppy slurper.
Yeah,
Jake and I talked about that. We're like,
yeah,
guys.
Yeah, I was sitting there watching my son. And I looked up and I saw the way it was. I'm like, wait. That's a reveal. I sent it to Sand Girl, and she was like, "Oh my god!"
I don't know what the feminine version of phallic symbol is, but I think I don't know what the term is.
It was
but we
definitely the
found one.
feminine version of a phallic symbol for sure.
We found one. All that was missing was a phallic looking monster fighting that thing, and then it would have been like, why is this an Ultraman? I downloaded the wrong episode of Ultraman.
Yeah, I'm like, well, Sloppy Slurper is definitely a good name for that thing.
Okay. Is that the what the henshin moment from the last?
Oh god, yeah. That might be the what the henshin for the season.
I don't know. We're only 6 episodes in, okay? There's a lot.
Yeah, but that's a strong contender. That
is a very strong contender. But yeah, that's a what the henshin moment there. But anyway, so they're going. I get it. The poop stuff is because I have never been a veterinary student, so I don't know. But I'm assuming that this is part of what they have to deal with. It comes with the job. So they're there and they're looking for. I'm amazed that this doesn't come up more in kaiju stories, but they're looking for kaiju feces. And our characters, our heroes, are worried that they're gonna find some of Poochie's, which I'm just picturing just looking like giant sprinkles that you would put on ice cream. And
they were looking for Poochie Poo.
Yeah, Poochie Poo. Where's where?
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh's retarded cousin.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah. So, and they're worried that'll get Poochie exposed because one of the I don't know subplots, if you are, main plot actually has been going through this is they're trying to hide Poochie or send him home, and they found the ship and and it was. He couldn't get the ship to work, but the semi-goth girl figured it out. But
speaking of Poochie, another standout from the series, the giant donuts. I want one.
I can't believe those are real.
If it was Krispy Kreme, I would eat one.
So would Rita. Anyway,
I'd eat one.
You knew it was coming. I'm sorry. Not sorry. But anyway, so that's our setup. And we have a bizarre, there's a kaiju there that has, they think it's a tentacle monster at first because the tentacles pop out of the ground like they're the graboids from Tremors, and they come out and it doesn't so much attack people, but it steals stuff. It's a kleptomaniac. And then
Jake, if you were at Krispy Kreme with Rita from the 2017 movie, she'd be eating Krispy Kreme and you would be the sloppy slurper.
Oh!
Yes, sir.
Wow.
That is accurate.
Wow. And suddenly this episode has an explicit label. Anyway, by the way, the girlfriend agrees. She wants one of the giant donuts. But anyway, and then I noticed when we got to our monster of the week, how strange he was behaving. I was like, something's off about this because last week's action scene wasn't all that great. Well, that episode's action scene wasn't all that great. So then we get the resolution to it in this. We get a little bit more backstory on, I can't remember her name, but it's I called her the semi-goth girl. We find out that she used to have a dog because she's young, and she had that dog for basically her entire life, and then it died, and it really affected her, and she keeps a little memento of him and stuff like that. And then the monster shows back up. Teo tries to fight it, and again, it's just behaving strangely.
Mm-hmm.
And then the girl figures out, because she starts flashing back to her dog, oh, all this thing wants to do is play, because it's like a dog. It's just an excited dog.
Which I'm going to be disappointed if they don't play that up a little bit, and because Teo does, his fighting style is you see him he's very skittish. He doesn't really want to fight, and his first in his fight or flight response, his first instinct is to flight. So he's having to fight against himself. So I kind of hope that kaiju is kind of almost kind of like the meta kaiju from Omega, and this kaiju comes to help him out, almost like it's his kaiju dog.
Like a dog, yeah. The monster's name, by the way, is Dochi Hagachi.
Yes, Dochi Hagachi, yes.
It'd be cool if at the end the kaiju that destroyed his planet, all the ones that he kept alive and befriended them, he helped them fight them.
Yes.
Yeah, it would. I don't know. He seems. I don't. Can you train this thing to be aggressive enough to be a guard dog? Not to mention, I don't think it's going to happen because this week's cliffhanger, he's getting his kaiju sidekick next week, and it's going to be Monster Poochie.
Yeah. So I don't know, but it would be kind of cool to see that kaiju come back.
Yeah, it would be interesting, but I don't know if it's subversive or another. I've heard some people say that that was another example of the show pandering to kids. I can see that. It did throw me off a little bit. It's like, really? Is this the route we want to go? Because it's really starting to feel like we're just getting Ultraman Cosmos again, when I was expecting there would be elements of Cosmos, but done better in this.
Yeah. If the kaiju doesn't come back at some point, at least to be some kind of like there's a relationship there, it's going to be like, okay, they were getting a trope out of the way with a kaiju that's not evil kind of thing. The whole mistaken identity kind of thing where he thinks he has to kill it, but no, it's his friend. We have our Pigmon for the season.
Yeah, basically.
Already. So if it doesn't come back, then yes, it was to get a trope out of the way and pandering and all that kind of stuff. However, I'm hoping, and I'm trying to get Tsuburaya if it's out here, I'm hoping that we will see something special. Like we will see the kaiju. It doesn't have to show up all the time, because I know there won't, but hopefully like he has friendly kaiju that come and aid him. That would be kind of a cool thing to see.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we only have about 15 minutes before the new ZEZTZ starts, so I think we should probably shift to last week's ZEZTZ, and we'll come back to Teo.
Okay.
Come back to this week's Teo, but as I want to make sure we stay on point with ZEZTZ. So last week's episode of ZEZTZ was appropriately called Resurrect.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of a resolution because the episode from the week before was nuts. Because I'm assuming we're in the last kind of like story arc in this, where Phantom has basically taken over Nem's dream world and is trying to pull a matrix and build a perfect world for her to live in.
Yeah.
And we are once again seeing our main cast basically get recast in different roles. And Baku has been chipping away at all of that and getting her to remember who everybody is, one person at a time. I gotta say, I think my favorite part of the entire thing, one of my favorite moments of the whole show, is in the first scenario that she makes for her. She's an actress in a Toku show, and it's a parody of Space Sheriff Gavin, but it's Space Sheriff Galvin, which just makes me laugh.
Yes.
That was so funny because it's oh, I get it. It's the feminine version of Gavin. Galvin, get it?
Yeah.
But and I think that might actually be one of the Toei sound stages where they film their tokusatsu. So it was actually, I'm thinking anyway, I have nothing that confirms that, but I have a feeling that's exactly what they did.
I was half expecting her to show up in like a pink version of the original Space Chef Gavin armor, which would have been freaking awesome.
Yeah,
That
that
would've
would
been-
have been hilarious. And honestly, I want Space Sheriff Galvin to exist, if it's only like a 2-episode miniseries. I need it to exist.
Oh, that would be awesome if she doesn't become a Kamen Rider, but if she's able to take control of the Nightmare and then she transforms into Space
Into
Sheriff
Galvin.
Galvin, that would be freaking awesome.
That would be so good. That would be so good. But so we have all of that going on. So last week, it basically boiled down to it's starting to come undone. She is remembering more. And they figure out that nobody can really stop her illusion powers in the dream world. Not even Baku can do it. But they know someone who can. And that's Jake's boy Knox.
Yeah.
Because he's the best
Yeah.
and the strongest.
Apparently. But his powers of darkness can stand up to her illusion. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get him to go after her, beat her, because they think if they beat her, it will end this illusion world, this illusion dream.
I'm kind of curious if they don't have to force her into the real world to beat her.
That's a possibility.
Also, the way that they're set up, going back to anime, it reminds me of they weren't the final bosses; they were right before the final boss. There were 4 in Digimon. There were 4 Digimon. They were all mega level that the Digidestined had to beat. But because Sig said something, there's a nightmare coming that's even worse. I would not be surprised if the final boss is somehow all their essences combined into one final nightmare that he has to beat. And I'm almost willing to put money we're going to see one new nightmare that's kind of like a combination of the big 4, kind of like we did at the end of Digimon. I'm kind of curious to see if that's where it's going.
Yeah, it'll be a surprise final boss.
Yeah,
that
sort
sounds
of.
like one of the most Japanese ways of doing things ever.
Well, this has been a very Japanese show.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
And a very anime like show. Sorry, one of the comments distracting me.
I'm ignoring that one because it is not relevant right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, so, and the other thing that happened was they restored Knox's memories last week because he got recast as Nem's bodyguard.
Yeah. Or Nemu.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm going off of the subs.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to go off what they actually say.
Then you should say mice.
No.
Sir.
Because it's stupid. Because they don't spell it mice in the.
I see how it is.
Yeah, they don't spell it mice in the logo. So
anyway, so that was the big thing that that happened last week. So it looks. I'm wondering how long they're going to play this out. I don't. Part of me wonders
not long.
If they're part. Well, yeah, they only have a few episodes left, but I'm just wondering if because I think she's the. Well, I don't know. Do they take her? I don't know. It feels like she should be the last of the big 4 that gets taken out.
Yeah,
because she's the one with the most emotional connections to our characters.
She's
been around the longest.
Yeah. I'm just glad we don't have to look at that baby head driving a kaijin body thing anymore. That I'm glad it transformed because that was disturbing.
Yeah,
But
it haunts your
it-
nightmares, doesn't it?
yeah, Oblivion is a much better design. Well, I can't say better, a much less disturbing design.
Oh,
True. I think the moon will be the final boss.
the moon.
That would be it. That would be interesting. Oh, well, we've got a few things. There's a few things that have to be wrapped up. But yeah, like from what I understand, they actually have to. She actually has to regain all her memories of the people. And like he runs his extreme capsule to bring them out over the illusion, and then she starts remembering, and it brings back the real ones.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the issue: the illusion. There's no illusion for Seg so far. So I'm wondering if Seg is just gone.
Edwin.
That's a good one, Edwin.
Oh my gosh, Edwin. Yeah, your mind goes places. Anyway.
His going back to Teo real quick, but his profile picture reminded me the English dub voice actor for Teo is actually the English voice actor for Midoriya from My Hero Academia.
Wow, actually, that makes a lot of sense.
So they actually for their two English dub simulcasts, they went got two big names from anime English dub to do it.
Nice.
Hmm.
Didn't know that.
Wow. I need to watch more of My Hero Academia.
It's right up your alley. You definitely should.
Oh, I know it is. I just really, really hate Crunchyroll. But
you hate everything, sir.
Oh, Crunchyroll. That's a rant master for another time, but yeah.
Yeah, Sony screws everything up.
Also, it's the most stupidly implemented streaming service I've ever seen. It's so stupid. Do you know you can only change the only way to change what tier you're on for Crunchyroll is to cancel the one you currently have, wait for it to expire, and then pick another one?
Yep.
Did you also know that the only way you can do that is to use the same device that you signed up for? That you signed up for it on?
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Netflix too, but at least Netflix doesn't play that game. But anyway, that's again tangent for another day. So I am curious to see if this week's episode we see the end of the dream world. If it's not this week, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens next week. And then the last two episodes is dealing with some sort of quote unquote final boss.
I say we'll see the end,
whatever that may be.
I say we'll see the end of one of them, and they'll have to find a way to bring it back, either the dream world or the real world, because they're looking to the goal. From what I understand, the goal of the nightmares is to make their own world, and I think their goal is to get rid of the living world and have everything in the dream world so they can control it.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
But before the show starts, I have a quick question for you too.
What's that?
A second. Based just on his abilities and what he could do, where would you rank ZEZTZ on terms of most powerful writers? Because he has to be pretty high on the list.
Admittedly, I have not seen every writer show. I'd say, how many writer shows have I actually seen in their entirety? It's the OG, V3, Black RX, Fies. I think that's it. Well, Black Sun.
Yeah.
And I've seen some of the movies.
Well, I would put Black from Black Sun is probably the weakest one that I've seen. And I'm not insulting the show, just you don't see him do a lot of superhuman like things as much in that one.
He ripped some kaijin apart with his bare hands.
But yeah, but most that's just like standard Kamen writers. They were just being uber violent.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. I think from what I can tell, ZEZTZ is at his most powerful when he's in the dream world because the rules don't apply.
Yeah, but at the same time, we've seen them him and the secondary writers will initiate something in the dream world and it crosses over into the real world. That's how Code 3 was turned into his confession.
Right, but it's still dependent on being in the dream world. So it's like a Freddy Krueger kind of situation. You know, is Freddy Krueger more powerful in the dream or in the real world? And I think the movies prove that he's at his most powerful in the dream world.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Everybody dreams, so.
Yeah, which means...
Not everybody.
Which means... if he was to go toe-to-toe with any of these other writers, he has to wait for him to fall asleep, and then he's a threat. But then you have to ask the question, can the other writers figure out how to do lucid dreaming?
Yeah, but he's also able to physically go between the two worlds as well, so.
Right. So I don't know. It's hard for me personally to... from a power scaling sense to kind of figure out where exactly to put him. Because again, he can cheat reality because his power set comes from dreams.
Yeah.
True. From what I've seen, I think he's probably the strongest, at least top three.
If we put him in the dream world, yeah, for sure. He's kind of ridiculous.
Well, he's kind of ridiculous in both. He's more ridiculous. If we're in the dream world, I would say he's number one. But even in the real world, he's insanely strong.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, he's also powered by modern Toku and Bandai mandates.
This is true.
Anyway, speaking of which, I think we've got about 40 seconds before the new episode starts.
Yes.
All right. I threw in our mandatory comment into the chat that has disappeared into the ether with all of the, buried under all the weirdos who are going to do all the usual weirdo nerd things. All right. 10 seconds, gentlemen. And here we... Whoa! It started 3 seconds early. What are we doing? Yeah, that's the other thing. All of these capsums give him basically every superpower you'll want. He just needs to make proper application of them.
Yeah.
Well, really? You really want me to get a YouTube Premium because you just gave me an ad not even 10 seconds into the show? What is wrong with you?
I've been telling you to get it.
Kamen writer brooding over here.
Yep.
The other thing that's been kind of nutty about the show, and this was something that Jake and I talked about, we feel like so much gets crammed into an episode of Kamen Rider ZEZTZ. It's like trying to talk about 2 or 3 episodes of Ultraman at the same time. It's crazy.
They don't give you room to breathe.
They don't. And then you start getting the details kind of start blurring together.
Yeah. He looks like he's in the call, like he's ready for his funeral.
All they have to do is put some coins on his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He's got great style. I'll give him that.
Huh. Somebody's video is about a second behind me.
Probably mine.
I don't care what anyone says. I prefer the second theme song. Which theme song do you guys prefer?
I don't know. I mean, this is one of the times I really don't have a strong preference either way. They both fit the tone of the show. I might like the second one a little bit more, but not really enough to be confident.
I don't know why, but rap music from Japan just feels weird to me.
I love this theme song.
Oh, I do too.
It's amazing.
And just like in the first one with the imagery that's here, it looks like we were promised giant Zets fighting kaiju or something, because like they feel that both of these include clips that are clearly on a miniature cityscape, but we've never had anything like that in the show.
Well, it's not over with yet, sir. They might be saving the best for last.
That would be nuts. This would be the writer show to do that with, even though I think that's only happened, I think, twice in the history of Kamen Rider.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get back to Mr. Odaka in reality in the Pro-Zets. Oh my gosh, guys. They're working a little too hard with some of these puns. With her pink blanket and her fancy sofa.
Technically, that's his fancy sofa.
I mean, I get it. I have a very comfy sofa too. Oh, I thought for a second he was standing in the middle of the hollow red moon. Hollow Red Moon sounds like the title of a science fiction novel.
Make it.
There you go. You have the name for your next one.
There you go. Hollow Red Moon. Anybody listening to this, you can't have that. I hereby claim it. And it's got some nice letterhead and everything. It's a very professional ransom letter.
If you're going to do it right.
I mean, if I was a supervillain, that's what I would do. Have some company stationery. Just, to send out all of my ransom notes and ultimatums and stuff. I mean, Shocker did. If I remember right. I remember there's like Shocker has stationery. Didn't we talk about that in our V3 coverage too? Because we're like, why does Destron have stationery?
Also, the amount of time that Baku has been shot in this show.
Yeah, he has been shot a lot, hasn't he?
Yeah. You even saw a type of bullet actually enter his body and then dig it out.
Yeah, he might be one of the most powerful writers, but he also seems to be one of the most vulnerable too. My gosh.
You see, he's lived through getting shot every time though. His power of resurrection is well, let's just say he has actually earned the title of Toku Jesus. He is Kamen Jesus at this point.
Yeah, Kamen Rider Jesus. Kamen Rider Christ. Oh, he's the kidnapper? Just as I get yet another ad!
Gotta love the ads.
Ah!
Indiana's data centers committed to paying their costs.
I'm gonna rant master about the stupid ads because it really wants me to get premium.
That's why the all-new Unstoppables gives
Oh my gosh, stop it. I am missing vital plot points. How dare you? Stop it. I don't care.
Unstoppables fresh.
I don't care about whatever that is. Oh, now she's going to remember them? Because
Yes. See, I told you, I don't know how they get Sig back at this point. I don't think we are.
Catch the bubbles! The bubbles! The memory bubbles.
Mm-hmm. But there's not an illusion of Sig for her to do that too. How are you, the Lieutenant Nazca?
Yes, the fake sister.
She is his sister.
Well, we're still doing the drink bet. We want to talk about live action anime. This guy's hair.
Yes, it is very anime worthy.
Oh, isn't that lovely? Good question. Oh, now he's volunteering to get kicked?
Oh my god.
Oh, because I needed to see that guy's arse. Holy crap, it worked. I think we just got the what the henshin moment of the week.
The kick or the butt in the face that we had.
Oh. Oh my god, somebody in the live chat just wrote down great cake banish.
Oh my god.
Well, that's only a little terrifying.
この鍵を辿っていけば、夢で小高さんとナイトメアが戦っている場所がわかるかもしれません。
He only looks like he's covered in black and purple fire. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
Should be.
これ、夢じゃないよね。
Nem in her elevator shoes.
Yes.
現実のネムちゃんに会った。よかったね、無事に目を覚ませて。うん。バクのおかげでね。
Your future sister-in-law.
ネムのミッション果たしたんだ。
A fake sister-in-law, but sure.
Would you stop with the fake? She's been there his whole life.
Vote Herb for mayor. What do you
Yeah, but she was a plant by code.
But she still cares for him. She's his sister.
で、バクは
So that's how you're predicting how the show ends. With Baku.
No,
Yeah.
this is Tokusatsu. She'll probably end up dead.
Oh,
起きたまま現実と
I mean, she is some sort of like half-breed abomination, apparently.
大丈夫かな。
You know, she has a semi-demonic immaculate conception.
だって今は夢の中だろ。
現実だけど。現実？
A demoniculate conception.
大丈夫？
Yeah, remember?
現実が
Her mom,
Yes.
she doesn't have
Yes.
technically doesn't have a father.
I know, a demoniculate conception.
Yes.
Yeah.
Democulate. Okay, I get what you were doing there.
Come back to reality.
Drink some more caffeine, sir. You're not keeping up.
I've already had 200 milligrams today.
Well, apparently you need another 250.
Nightmare.
Do you want me to
I
die?
could use another Red Bull.
It gives you wings.
I might.
Perfect timing.
I'm gonna say the music stopped for a second. Wing. He had a Red Bull.
Yes. Yes, he did.
And now he's Batman.
Batman
There's
Beyond.
Oblivion.
Yeah,
Which
okay.
This one's still kind of creepy with all the hands.
Yeah, I was gonna say, here's Handy Face.
I told you Oblivion wasn't bad. I knew you'd come.
See, they can do it right here. Why can't we get a Batman Beyond live action show?
Exactly.
Because that would actually be what people want and be too good.
True.
And
No, they would find a way to mess
that's
it
not
up.
and that's not how DC rolls anymore.
Yeah. They'd announce that we find out that Elliot Page is Terry McGinnis, and then
I'm not touching that one.
nobody wants to now anyway.
You mean what we're doing now? What? Does he have a goblin glider?
This is stream. Yeah, we haven't seen this in a while, but yes, he has the
I haven't
glider.
seen this one in a hot minute.
Yes, we're getting to the end. We're having to get some of the greatest hits.
Oh yeah, we got to throw all the toys in there.
Mm-hmm.
What? That's just unfair.
There you
Seriously, he's just cycling through his whole power set now.
Indeed.
Oh, here we go. That looked like a drone shot. Well, and apparently Nem is discovering that she's got some powers in the dream world too.
Mm-hmm.
ナイトメアが作り出した現実に存在しちゃいけない人間
This mother trucker's got a giant eye in his shoulder. I just now noticed that.
一度生まれた命に存在しちゃいけない理由なんてない
Yeah, take that, pro choicers.
そう思ってるだから僕が生まれた誰かの夢を願うことはできても自分自身の夢を願っちゃいけないなのに君は現実のメモを見つけて叶うはずのない夢を与えてしまった
Huh.
お願い現実に生きたい現実でみんなの夢を叶えたいとそうこしれない夢が僕を辛くする
So is he implying that Baku basically triggered his existence?
Yes.
Oh, is he good? Is he going for the super muscle? The super muscle? Is it?
Yep.
Oh no, he's going back to base mode here. I thought he would go for the super muscle version. His default mode is still my favorite. What's not my favorite is the ads.
Wow, incredible. No matter
I don't care about gain.
the sense you love. Now with
I want to watch the Kamen Rider show. Get out of my face.
When Amaya needs to slip away, she has a little rendezvous.
And I don't care about women's shampoo.
Here. To me,
Go back. Oh my gosh.
herbal essences. Scent of
Get it over with. Thank you. Did I miss anything important?
He lost his capsules.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. They're all disappearing. That's not good.
Ooh, including Extreme.
Uh-oh. You got one back.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. The Capsum.
生命が生きられる現実を
All right, I kick. Uh-oh. When the bad guy survives the rider kick, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Or in his case, shrugs it off.
君のせいでそいつはボロボロだ君の残しは一つしかなかったんだ
It's kind of disconcerting that Oblivion sounds like a child.
現実のせいで
Yes.
消えることはなかった
違う俺は夢の可能性を信じる
Poor Baku has been bleeding a lot in the back half of the show.
Yeah.
すべて僕が消し去る
ごめんなさい。私が生まれたせいで、こんな悪夢に。
ゲームのせいじゃない
What's she gonna do? Oh no. Oh no!
消えた世界に返して。
What is she doing?
よせいまいましい力だ
Yeah, you should have figured that was going to happen.
あの人の
Must get the toy back.
言う通りだった。
消えろ
Thorn missiles. Are you kidding me? We're doing this again? Is that our cliffhanger? Oh. Well. Even Baku's like,
Oh my
What?
god.
Oh, he's back.
what?
Hell yeah.
Oh,
This mother trucker. Oh.
と組むことになるとはな。
オブリビオンを本気で倒せるとでも
いい夢を見させてもらった。
夢は悪夢を超える。
Oh. This mother trucker. Oh my gosh. I did not see that one coming.
I didn't either. That was sick.
because
Wow.
so she remembered bad dreams, and he's tied to bad dreams. So I'm guessing that's how they brought him back.
I was going to say, we were just talking about before the episode. You were like,
He's
oh, I don't think
back.
Sieg is going to come back. Well, they came back anyway, mother truckers.
Yes, he did.
The character you seem to think I am, I need to dub or something because of all of his junior energy.
Oh God, yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Ever since you said that, I can't look at him the same way anymore.
If Mr. Cochran ever gets to Kamen Rider ZEZTZ, you have to be Sig.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, did not see that coming. As this show has had it's had its peaks and valleys with me, but then it throws surprises like that at me.
Yeah.
And it keeps me coming back.
It's not even over yet. It's my favorite Rider series that I've got to watch all the way through so far.
We have 3 episodes left. We'll see if it can retain that title.
Indeed.
Wow. Shout, I don't exactly trust you with quality control, but please put this on Blu-ray.
Please.
You'll probably have to charge us $100 to make up for the Toei tax. But please put this on Blu-ray.
I'm sure it'll end up with Discotheque because it looks like that's where they're going.
Shout, it shouts. They already have the streaming rights for this, so it'll probably go to them.
Well, streaming right.
I don't think Discotheque is interested in the newer stuff.
We shall see.
They better be.
Yeah.
What Discotheque needs to do is blow our minds and get the OG show.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's coming.
And then Showa Rider will be complete aside from the Zet Cross special. Which was just one episode. It introduced another writer, but it was just a single episode. So I don't know. But yeah, that's another thing we should mention is they announced Super 1.
Yes, they did.
And so Skyrider's not even out yet, and they announced Super 1. And then after that, like I said, the only thing that happened between Super 1 and Black was the Zet Cross special. So I don't think they would put that out as its own thing. Seems like a little much. I would say tack it onto the onto Super One, but I'm crazy.
Yeah, they might do that.
Good.
You never know.
You never know. But yeah, nice job, show. Did not see that coming. Then
Nope.
again, when I saw Spider-Man Brand New Day, they threw there was a twist with the villain, and I'm like, really? We're doing that? How did I not see that one coming?
Yeah.
Anyway, any final thoughts on that episode?
Very good episode. It's one of those that with Zet so far, you're kind of surprised when the end comes up. Like, wait, it's been 30 minutes already, because it's just there's so much going
Not even
on.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
More like 25.
But
I'm glad Sega's back.
that's your favorite, huh?
No,
No,
it's Nox.
Nox is my
Nox.
favorite.
Nox is your
his
favorite.
boy.
Yeah, I like Baku. Baku's my favorite.
Yeah, he might end up with a Nox for Christmas at this rate.
I better.
If not a Nox, at least Nox's gun.
I'll be fine with that.
All he has to do is go buy a Nerf gun, and he's good.
No, it's gotta look just like it.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
That'd be cool if it was a Nerf gun, then I'd be shooting you guys at G-Fest next year.
You would.
Are you telling me that I need to pack my Nerf gun next year so I can beat you to that, and then wake you up every day with Nerf darts?
Do it.
No, so you're at a disadvantage, sir, because we know where you'll be with the panels, and he'll just sneak up there and start shooting you in the middle of a panel.
Oh.
I'll bring my sniper Nerf guns.
Except he'll be disappointed that I'm just gonna grab the dart out of midair and then
You'll never see it coming.
Oh, sure.
We'll get you distracted with an Astronema cosplayer first.
Good luck finding one.
You never know.
Unless she agrees to go on a date with me, I don't think it'll work.
No.
The girlfriend says she's coming armed.
Yeah, she's quite the Nerf gun collection.
She's got an armory, does she?
She does.
All right.
Nerf guns, knives, bows.
Why am I not surprised? Let me see if I can find comments pertaining to the episode, and then we'll go on to cover this week's Teo. Let me see. I think that well, let's go through Edwin's running commentary. Awesome plus ultra. I'm reading this fan web comics. It's My Hero Academia 10B that makes amazing rules for transformations, downsize specialization, and combines two fandoms, but adds lore, changes lore. Okay. Oh, you think come on one by one picked off filthy kidnapper. Those words don't leave me shaken, not stirred. Oh my gosh, Edwin.
More stirred.
Wow. More stirred. The stream of consciousness that is your brain.
It's definitely a unique thing.
Yeah. Oh, this is gonna end like KH3 and Waking. KH3?
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts 3. Okay. Pretty sure that's better gliding than CW when it had Batwoman. If they did it at all. Wow. Copy these lights if somebody ever wants to adapt the big time Spider-Man stealth suits. Wow. I kick your reality, which oddly enough has happened in Kamen Rider so many times. For so long, the explosions have been behind riders, but when it consumes... No, I thought it was behind Super Sentai. I know the rules. I know how this works. Yeah, and then reacting to the very end, we have Courtright with "He's back" as Dawn breaks Badumtish. So there you go. running commentary on all of that.
I should have known better than better get said, because any character that Nate voices or will potentially voice always finds their way back.
Wow. Now I'm just sitting here trying to figure out what my dub voice for Seek would be. I'm not sure. There has to be some manic energy in there for sure.
Junior on Joker Gas. There you go.
Oh man. Oh man. But anyway,
I nailed it. You know it.
you probably did. Anyway, so shifting gears here a little bit, let's go back to Teo so we can finish that. So this week's episode of Teo is called Poochie's Big Move. So this was a part 1. And so we have it's got the same director and screenwriter as the other one that we talked about. So the whole point of this episode is they're trying to find a new place to put Poochie while trying to hide the fact that Poochie is there and everyone is comically oblivious to obvious signs that there is something strange in a room.
There's something strange in the neighborhood.
Yeah, as soon as I said that, I was like, someone's gonna do it. But yeah, because they had the
and you knew it would be me.
Yeah, they had the professor in the room, and Poochie's just behind a curtain. And Poochie is so tall that bits of him are sticking out of the top anyway, and Poochie's making noise, and he still doesn't realize that there's something there.
Talk about an absent-minded professor.
Yeah, for sure. And our secret agent lady was barely in the episode, which I thought was a little strange, even though one of the things we had going on is the girl in charge of the astronomy club is freaking out over the, what is it? The TTFT. Is that what it is?
UTTF.
The UTTF. She's flipping out. She's like, like all they had to do was just say the name, and she's like, she starts freaking out because like, oh no, they make people disappear. Oh. Okay. So yeah, it's just about getting Poochie to a new place.
Yeah, you're thinking, oh, this is where he's going to go giant. Nope, he's just moving.
No, that's he's just moving, but it kind of has a perfect cliffhanger.
Yes, because I'm sure he's going to go giant here soon.
Oh, he is, and they cut right before it happens. So I got to give them credit for that. Like the toys already spoiled it, but we know exactly what's going to happen. But I think we have also had a new power. Well, a new power revealed for Poochie. Now, they kind of imply that it might be telepathy. I think Poochie's an empath. What do you guys think?
I think it will be whatever the plot needs it to be.
Well, yeah, but is it telepathy or is he an empath? He, she, whatever.
They call it, or in the English dub, they, because since that's the way English works.
Yeah, the subs do that too.
No, in the subs they call it, but in English they use that not to be woke, but because if it's a living thing and they can't figure out the gender, they use they, them.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, they're saying telepathy, but yeah, it's a type of empathy is a type of telepathy. It reads emotions instead of the mind. So
I've seen Star Trek: The Next Generation. I know how this works.
No, I don't know. I would say it's probably closer to empathy, but
yeah, sensing and mimicking the emotions.
Mm-hmm. It might actually, as he gets older or whatever, it might evolve into full-blown telepathy. But yeah, I think it's more about reading emotions right now.
Did you notice the monster of the week shows up at the absolute last second?
Uh-huh.
And we don't even know why it's there. It seems to be after Poochie. We don't know why. But I remember thinking once we got about 15 minutes into the episode, I was like, where's the monster of the week?
Yeah.
We've had zero to do with any sort of monster of the week. when is it going to show up? And then it shows up and it's like, oh, it's a bird and it doesn't look all that frightening, but it's clearly being malicious.
It's a
I
bird
was
of
kind
prey.
of, I was kind of bored this episode.
Well, and they were playing up a lot of the comedy there too, because the what is his name, Betchy, the big muscle dude, and they thought that he was the owner of 6 cats, so they thought like, well, this is weird, and then they started being like, oh, he likes cats, he has cats, and then it's like, oh, you misunderstand me, I'm not working 3 jobs to feed these cats. It's I'm house sitting. They belong to somebody else.
But I didn't take good care of them, and now I'm paying for the
vet bills.
Yeah.
But so he's like trying to hide the fact that they're not his cats, but also hiding the fact that he's working multiple jobs.
Japanese logic, man.
I suppose.
That was another thing about the episode I didn't like. Can't stand cats.
Oh, not a cat guy. Not a cat guy.
No.
You better stay away from Chinese buffets then.
Wow.
I didn't say they didn't taste good.
Wow. No, I thought they ate dogs.
No. Well, both. No, actually, not so funny story. We actually had some Chinese buffets shut down here because of they weren't any of the major chains, but you had to be careful when you go to local ones because sometimes to save money, stray cats go missing or they find the skulls in the sink.
Ew.
Nice.
And I'm re-traumatizing my girlfriend because I told her this story before. And ever since I did and she freaked out, I've referred to her cat as Orange Chicken.
Oh, you bastard. Anyway.
You could be
saying girl, I'll beat him up for you if you want. Yeah. So I don't know. Again, we had a very comedy centric episode with a little bit of character drama in there, and again, we didn't have much of an action sequence. It just boiled down to the bird kaiju tries to shoot the house that has Poochie in it with basically a fire beam, and Teo makes a shield so they can all get away.
I'm guessing it's going to be a natural predator prey kind of situation.
Yeah, the only thing I'm wondering about is the preview for next week seems to imply that we're going to build sympathy for this monster. So we're doing that again.
I think
I'm like, can we stop doing that? It's like we haven't had a truly malicious kaiju since like episode 2 and 3.
Well, I think this might actually be a recurring thing because you saw some of it in Omega, but I think it's going to be really pronounced here because he's a veterinarian. They spend a lot of time talking about the behavior patterns of animals. And some animals are aggressive and dangerous to humans. Many of them can be domesticated.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to see a lot of that this season.
Which is really making this like Cosmos, because that's what Cosmos would do. Cosmos was a pacifist, and instead of killing the monsters, he would pacify them and then take them to a monster island for them to live there. He didn't like killing them.
So you're saying that Cosmos works for the board?
I'm just saying he went to a monster island. I didn't say it was the monster island.
So
but
is there 3 Ultramen on the island now?
They called it a monster island. So
maybe it's one of the off-sites, so you don't really
Probably.
interact with them that much.
It probably is. But yeah, but all that to say is I feel like we're starting to go that route again when the expectation I had built up in my head, and maybe this was the wrong thing to do, was that Teo wasn't necessarily a pacifist, he's a reluctant hero. Very reluctant hero.
Very reluctant.
Because he's in over his head. Like I said, I think he's a civilian Ultraman.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't. The fight scenes, the way the choreography is, are deliberately very sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very different than you got with. Well, I was actually watching Blazar, and Blazar was very military efficient. Just
he's also very savage because
yes,
he's a caveman.
Yeah, but very savage, but also because he bonded with a military officer, he's very military efficient. His fighting is very on point.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get Arc. He's a little bit more. He's a decent enough fighter, but he's definitely not as savage. He's a lot more kind-hearted.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get Omega, who is a good fighter. But this guy, he's definitely you definitely went to the opposite end of the spectrum where he's not a good fighter, and he doesn't understand the powers.
When he does the Specium beam, the reason he puts, instead of it being the left hand in front, the left hand's in the back because he has to stop the recoil, which I actually think is kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah, that's a cool way. And I'm guessing this one, like the previous one, he's the first. I don't even know if they're going to be called Ultras. I don't know what they're going to be called. They're not calling him Ultraman at all.
No.
They're calling him the Blue Giant.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if I hope this isn't going to be a continued. It was good once, but this time there was a planet Ultra basically that got blown up. It's called H12.
H12.
H12, which makes 12.
It's technically, I have read, it's actually pronounced H12.
But so basically their version of the Land of Light almost has been destroyed.
Right.
Don't know if he's called it Ultra. I don't know if there's going to be a journey, kind of like.
I don't know. The theory that Jake and I came up with, because we had to talk about the first 3 episodes, 2-3 episodes in one episode, because of like G-Fest and things like that. I was just too busy. And the theory that we came up with is maybe what they might do is, if they wanted to play into Teo's loneliness, but also make this an anniversary show. And, even though it looks like that gimmicky looking Zero special from our guy, his name flew right out of my head, even though we have an award named after him.
Koichi Sakamoto.
Koichi Sakamoto, even though Koichi Sakamoto is directing it. The caffeine's wearing off. Anyway, I was saying what they could do is, toward the end of the show, the other Ultras in the Land of Light find him in the elsewhere in the multiverse, and then they show up and they say, "Hey, we know your planet was destroyed, but you're like us. We'll take you in. You don't have to be alone anymore."
Yeah, I wonder if this might be a way for him to cross over with Omega, because Omega went through this journey in New Generation Stars where he becomes an Ultra.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we're going to get that in the show, or if they're going to save. And this would be so annoying if they try to make us watch another clip show to get the ending of this guy's story. If he does the same thing in the next generation, New Generation, I hope not. If you're going to do it, please do it in the mainline show.
Putting a vital story bit in the clip show series, really, guys?
Lame.
Yeah, but I could see Omega crossing over with him, because Omega didn't have a crossover in his. Arc didn't show up to team up with him.
Yeah.
So I could see them. I don't. Maybe Arc could show up at some point too, because Arc didn't get a team up. But with Omega. But I could see Omega showing up and be like, "Hey, I've been where you are."
Is Omega getting a movie?
No.
No.
Wow.
My guess is they're saving budget one to make this Zero special, and they're going to do a big budget theatrical Ultraman Zero movie next year.
I got you.
That would be so. I think that's where the money is going. But yeah, I would like to see that. I would like to see the other Ultras. Maybe the Ultra Brothers can show up and be like, "Hey, we've seen what you're doing. You don't have to be alone anymore.
Yeah.
Come home with us." I don't want them to do the cop out where his planet gets restored, or like a bunch of his or some of his fellow residents, survived, like a bunch of them. I don't necessarily want that. That feels like a little bit of a cop out. But I would like, if this is going to be the 60th anniversary show, tie it back by having the Ultra Brothers or Omega or somebody show up and be like, "Hey, you're not the only one left."
Yeah, definitely having them incorporated into the Ultras by the end of the series.
Yeah. And I'm in our group chat. You were asking me, it's like, is this when when they're gonna stop doing as much with the Bandai mandates? They're slowing. My understanding is they're slowing down with it in this one, kind of like they did with Blazar. Although with Blazar, it's just that they fast tracked the pre-production so much Bandai didn't get to send them notes.
Yeah.
With this one, I think they just started refusing to do certain things. That's why the Teo Crystar doesn't have some sort of toy gimmick. He just hits a button on it, it flashes, and he transforms. That's it. And I think that's also why his alt modes, if we want to call it that, is just him getting glowy energy around him. And that's it. It's not a full-fledged, it's not an armor set or a color change or a completely different looking form or whatever. So I think they're starting to say no more often, but I think starting next year, my understanding is they're really going to be saying no a lot more. They're still going to keep their deal with Bandai to make the toys and stuff, but they're not going to be taking nearly as much input.
Yeah.
I really don't get the Crystar, because if he's Ultraman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes into his human form, why does he need the Crystar to go back to being Ultraman?
It seems like he had to pick that up. It's not something that you normally have.
Yeah.
Well, that he normally has. Even though, for what I read, if you look at the promotional materials, the lore behind that is that it's made of some sort of element that's given to residents of his planet, I guess when they reach a certain age or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Maybe what it's doing, one of the powers it bestows, the Crystar enables him to blend in. So he's not activating his ultra powers, he's deactivating his human form.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. But yeah, I have to say, I went into Teo with high hopes. I was overall very impressed with the first episode, but it hasn't quite lived up to what I thought it would be. I almost feel like especially that first trailer, it feels almost a little misleading now. And I hate to say that.
No, I'm kind of bored with it.
You're not the only one.
On Fridays, I'm not really excited to watch it anymore.
Yeah, I've been seeing some of that circulate around the internet, which is not what you want for your big anniversary show.
No, I will say this, this is my first week of actually watching it. I binged it. It is not what I'd hoped. I am trying to let the story speak for itself. But even doing that, I'm like, okay, this is very similar to what we've already had. You made a big deal about the 60th. And I love Subaraya, and they usually don't miss very much. But this last year, like they started pulling back in America. They didn't show up at G Fest because they've been losing money. I'm guessing the American thing hasn't panned out quite as much, which I was surprised to find out that we were getting an English dub simulcast. I think that one thing, even though Super Sentai in this last season, the last season of Super Sentai was very gimmick heavy. However, their anniversary seasons tend to not disappoint as far as their cameos and how they incorporate their past and stuff like that. Subaraya does need to give it to fan service at least a little bit and start bringing back. Like, we want to see some of the old Ultras in the main show. Give us some of those raw moments, not just, and I understand, and this is the 60th anniversary. You made such a big deal about it. We were wanting some raw moments. If we were giving us some of those, raw moments in the middle of all this, people wouldn't be complaining as much.
Feels like they wanted to make a veterinarian show, but it wouldn't sell, so they put Ultraman in it.
Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I felt like it promised a certain thing in that first trailer, and it hasn't quite been that. The later trailers, I do think were more indicative, and that's why I was surprised by them. It's like, is this the show we're getting? Okay.
Yeah.
It's a little weird. I don't know. It might, maybe it'll do something similar to ZEZTZ, because the first half of ZEZTZ was actually pretty light for the most part. And then you had that hard shift at the midpoint. And I'm wondering if maybe something like that could happen for Teo. We get this really hard shift halfway through.
That's not really a fair comparison, because with ZEZTZ, they were establishing, letting you know the rules of this universe, and it was never boring, because even the pace was still pretty good. Then we got that, then we hit the premonition point, and it just really, like, okay, we've been at 7, we're going to 17. Get ready.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, it's.
And right now we're currently at like 34.
Right. I thought, because I thought Teo started off pretty strong, and it's been on a bit of a decline since then. And this is the first time, I would say, probably since Decker, where I felt like that. Because I was pretty invested in Z if we're going back to when I started watching the simulcast on the regular, I was pretty locked in with Z, even though it very gimmicky, very Bandai mandate-ish. And then Trigger and Decker lost me a little bit. I kind of just, I watched it because I felt like I had to. It had a couple of high point moments, but I had difficulty truly engaging with it. And then Blazar had me from the get-go. Like, I was 110% locked in with Blazar. It's still my favorite of all of the 2020s Ultra series. Like, that one is just, it's hands down the best. I was, for the most part, locked in with Arc, not as much as with Blazar, but I was locked in with it. Same thing with Omega, but Teo has kind of been slowly losing me.
One of the problems that Teo has is you start out and it has a very simple, and like I said, if you go back and watch the first few episodes of Omega, I have a feeling you'll see this. It is following a lot, even though the story is a bit different. if you look at the tone and the beats and how it's going, I think we had actually it was like episode 3 or 4, maybe 5 when we got the mistaken kaiju enemy that was actually the friend.
Yeah, that ended up dying by the end. I think that was like episode 5. Yeah.
Yeah, we got it like episode 3. So it's so close to following so many similar beats and so close together. Even though there's some differences, it's very much like you're looking to see if there's a black cat running by, because this is like deja vu.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you put Tiga, like if they've done Ultraman Tiga, and the next season was Ultraman Trigger. I just saw this. What's going on?
Yeah.
Except
unfortunately, Teo hasn't been as good.
No, it hasn't. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just like, okay, some of this is very similar. A little bit. And I'm like, you're going to have to you only have 25 episodes, or sometimes they only do 23. However many it's going to. Okay. You have 25 episodes, and I'm sure they're going to throw in some clip shows along the way. I don't know if those are counted against the total count or not. You can't do the pace that ZEZTZ does every season all the time.
No.
But you guys need to be packing. It should feel like we get like 2 episodes worth each episode, instead of feel like we're getting a very long. A lot of it feels like we're getting the first half of Power Rangers, first 15 minutes for 30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And while it's good for 15 minutes, it's not good for 30.
No, I think that's the problem with the 2 parts. 2-part episodes aren't bad. You can do them, but the way that they do them is you have, the human setup, and it's okay or boring. And then he maybe fights for a second. Then his light starts blinking. Then the next episode you start, you got like 2 or 3 minutes he's fighting. Then after that, it's just
it's almost like they're taking the timer literally this time.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jake. It seems like with the 2-parters, the structure is basically, it's like almost like, and I hate to say it this way, but it's kind of what it is. It's they're taking what would normally be 1 episode, and they're stretching it out to 2. And most of the setup is happening in part 1, and then you get a little bit of superhero and kaiju action at the very end of part 1. And then they save most of it for part 2.
Yeah.
And that is it's challenging to maintain that level of momentum.
It's kind of like if you go back and look at season 1 of Power Rangers, you get, except for the pilot, but even the pilot a little bit, you get the setup and some exposition. You get an action scene where it's more fight, run, more fight. Them having to retreat or go and figure out the next step. Then comes the Ranger battle, followed by the Zord footage. That's 30 minutes. That's actually a lot happening in a 20 to 30 minute episode. You got Ultraman Teo, you're getting the exposition, some character building, which is fine. Maybe the action, or maybe they discover the problem and start figuring it out, and then maybe a little bit of action. In the second episode, you might get more action, but still, they're not giving you a whole lot, because it feels like, I think at one time I timed it, he was literally Ultraman for like 1 minute and 10 seconds. I'm like, okay, we're not getting enough Ultra here. I love the characters, don't get me wrong, but I don't have enough connection with these guys yet. They're not as over the top out there that you immediately like, okay, I want to know more about these characters. Like with Baku, you got this guy who is cursed, but yet has such a positive outlook because this guy's been hit by a meteorite, he get hit by a car, he's been struck by lightning, he's and all this stuff. And then you got his sister who is this neurotic mess, but obviously cares for him. And you got this star who seems happy-go-lucky, and then she knows she's a dream, but and all these characters are just very interesting, and you're fine spending a lot of time with them, but then they throw in quite a bit of action too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
These characters.
It's like all the characters in Teo, they don't even want to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost, maybe. It's the thing is that if you look at how Teo is set up, on paper, there should be plenty of like character dynamics and intrigue on here, because you have the guilt-ridden soul survivor disguised as a human who is trying to be a superhero, but he's clearly over his head. And he just wants to, he's just looking for a new life on Earth. He's lonely. Like I said, he's guilt-ridden. There's stuff there. And then there are all of these eccentric humans that he gets stuck with. And he's trying to learn how to connect with them. And all of the eccentric humans are creating some of his more, the human side of the problems. Meanwhile, there's also this mysterious little kaiju who's being targeted by other aliens and monsters. We don't know why. And they're trying to figure that out. Meanwhile, there is a government agent lady who's trying to track down him and any other weirdness that's going on. And there's a professor at the school who's in on it, who's also trying to figure out all this stuff. And he's also kind of eccentric. The only one who's not out and out eccentric is the secret agent lady, but her eccentricity is that she is deathly serious all the time.
Yeah, I like to call her Agent Mean Mug.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like there's all of this stuff that on paper this should be clicking, and it's not exactly clicking because I think the scripts have been getting preoccupied with the wrong things, if I can put it that way. It's been getting preoccupied with how funny this can all be and spending a lot less time reminding us that amidst all of this funny stuff, you have this tragic, reluctant hero. And I think that is my biggest problem with it, is that it's that the show has been consistently forgetting that.
Didn't you say the writers? Didn't you say the writers haven't worked on Ultraman before?
It looks like we have a bunch of fresh talent, near as I can
tell.
That
might be the problem.
It could be. It's weird that they decided to clean house for this season in particular.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the part that frustrates me, because I feel like the humor needs to be coming from Teo's situation.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I think the comparison, maybe this is not a fair comparison, because I don't know if this is the tone they necessarily want to go with, but I think what I was hoping for was something a little bit closer to like Power Rangers RPM, where there are points where Power Rangers RPM is laugh out loud funny, but the humor stems from the fact that the characters are in a very dark situation.
I'm Scottish.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm Scottish. But, but I don't necessarily need to go to that kind of a level, but that's where the humor needs to come from. It's all of this is happening while Teo is trying to learn how to connect with people again. He just happens to be stuck with a bunch of eccentric weirdos.
Okay, so one thing I've been talking about, and I've been talking about it some with Matt Walsh, and I've been talking to it with
But not that Matt Walsh.
Not that Matt Walsh.
Yeah.
The problem with like The Godfather and a lot of modern shows is you really don't have anybody to root for because everybody is so morally compromised. You're like, I don't want anybody to win here.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the first monster, which is obviously one of the planet destroyers. You don't have anybody to root against here. Because the second monster was just a predatory animal. The third one was basically a dog. And this fourth one says he falls like it's just a predator after its favorite piece of prey. That's just nature.
Which does make it I think a genuine threat, but it's not a malicious threat.
But you're not really rooting against, like, oh, just find a way to get the Poochie away from the predator.
Mm-hmm.
The predator is just looking for a meal. It's not intrinsically something you're rooting against.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have in a story, you have to have somebody to root for and somebody to root against. That was the problem with the Joker movie. There was nobody to root for in that movie. I'm not rooting for the Joker. He's a horrible person.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you have something, Jake?
Yeah. Was it this or Omega where you weren't on Earth before?
What? Oh, it was Omega. This one too. Well, no, because they seem to have some sort of awareness of kaiju in this, which is confusing. But Omega for sure, they didn't know what kaiju were until.
Because I was gonna say, if the kaiju was a threat before he got there, and that all this destruction was happening, and Teo showed up, then you could actually root for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But so far, all the native kaiju are they're just big animals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, but yeah, you're right. I think that's the problem that we have here. I think we have a solid character in Teo, and the supporting cast, I'm enjoying them and their antics, but our antagonists have been less than compelling.
It's like in a documentary, you see a herd of gazelle, you're enjoying them. They're beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Lion comes up and eats one. Does that suck? Sure. Are you mad at the lion? No, the lion had to eat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this might be a classic case of the hero's only as good as the villain. Unless your hero is just that compelling, because I mean, people used to say that was one of the MCU's problems for a while, was that they were really good with their heroes, but their villains weren't on the same level, with a few exceptions. Loki was basically great right out of the gate.
I would argue that Stain in the first Iron Man was a really good villain.
For the story they were telling in that, I would say yes.
And then you had Loki. No, wait, who came next? Was it Thor that came? No, then you had Abomination, which was a good one.
But he was okay. The Red Skull was good. He was relatively simple, but he was the kind of villain the kind of movie that Captain America: The First Avenger was trying to be. The Red Skull fit that bill very nicely.
Yeah. Thanos was fantastic. The only misses in the first phase, I felt, were Whiplash was not very good. Hammer was fine, but he's no physical threat.
Yeah, Whiplash had his moments, but yeah.
Then the problem with Iron, the main issue actually came with the Iron Man movies, because in Iron Man 3, I thought the Mandalorian was a fantastic villain,
but
he wasn't
the Mandarin.
The Mandarin, yeah. Sorry, the Mandarin was
Mandalorian. I was a little confused there.
Yeah, I've watched Grogu and the Mandalorian recently, so or Mandalorian and Grogu, whichever it is. But
whatever.
Yeah. The Mandarin was good until you realize he's not the villain, but instead of that guy just being the actor face and us getting the real Mandarin, we got whatever that was.
Yeah, I was not a fan of that twist, but no, but to get it.
I was a fan of that twist, because that's something the Mandarin would do. Have a fake Mandarin out there to distract Tony. but then they went into the Extremis storyline and dropped the Mandarin completely. And I'm like, okay, so
the girlfriend says she thought Ultron was pretty good. I
Ultron-
would agree. I did think Ultron was pretty good.
Ultron was a good villain. The problem with that, this is not MCU podcast. The problem with that movie was behind the scenes stuff involving Joss Whedon.
Yeah,
and the fact that I think what actually hurts that more now as you go through it was that all that happened in that movie was Tony's fault, and then everybody else had to pay for it in Civil War, and he never had to face it. I'm like, we told you not to build this stupid thing.
Yeah, basically. But no, to bring it back to Teo, I do think that might be what the problem is.
Yeah,
right now.
There's nobody to really root against.
Yeah, the antagonists have not been great. As I was actually thinking we were going to be seeing a lot more of the kaiju who destroyed his planet. Like it's almost like they knew somebody survived and they have to chase him down and they have to kill him so the destruction can be complete.
My fear with Teo is that we don't know why all those kaiju came to his planet and ended up destroying it. My fear is that the reason why they came to that planet, because he arrived around the same time that the first one did, they were there for Poochie.
Which begs the question, why is everybody after Poochie? And it seems to be that either the cutesy Poochie is either a disguise or his species, because they can transform into a big scary kaiju, that's like some secret power and they have to have it, which I get what they're trying to do. It's the irony of, oh, the cute thing is actually secretly the scariest, most powerful thing here. But
if they go down the road of like almost like a moral relative, it's not good and evil. They're just all acting on instinct. That's going to be such a boring 25 episodes. It's such an unsatisfactory ending.
Yeah.
It will be.
If they're just trying to get Poochie, just give it to them. Get it over with.
Yeah, that's not an option, unfortunately.
I know.
It is not an option. I don't know. I agree with you because, again, your hero's only as good as the villains, and that's why certain superheroes. I think that's a big factor for why they became the icons they are. Say what you want about Spider-Man and Batman, but a big part of their appeal is they arguably have the two best rogues galleries in all of comics.
Yeah.
And then the only exception I can think of to that would be the Flash. The Flash has some great villains, but he isn't nearly on the same level of notoriety as Batman and Spider-Man. But that's a big reason why people love those characters. And again, to keep it relevant, look back on on Ultraman 66. Those almost all of the monsters that appeared in Ultraman 66 gained their own fan bases and got brought back in subsequent shows.
Yeah,
because they were that good
and are still coming back.
Yeah, they still are.
Yeah. I now, one thing that might happen that would be interesting is if they decide that the kaiju aren't the main threat, and this comes down to like be a war between quote unquote ultras somehow. Like maybe one shows up that is at least it's very antagonistic towards Teo and the kaiju because maybe he's not an actual soul survivor. Because I thought I saw a flash of one that looked similar to Teo, but he had black on.
I think that was supposed to be another resident of H12, but I think it looked like he died trying to fight the kaiju.
You know what? I'm gonna call it. The writers are fans of Dragon Ball Z. Because if you watch whenever they blew up H12, you had all the Ultramen, going up trying to fight them, trying to stop them, but then planet blows up anyway. Well, you thought Goku was the only survivor, but here you got Vegeta, Nappa, and then all
Well,
them.
they could also be
I
fans of
think-
Superman because that happened with the Kryptonians too. Now, come
Well,
on.
hang on. I think that we're going to get more of the Ultraman from H12. They're going to come be bad, but then they're going to become friends. And they're going at the end, all those kaiju are going to come back and they're going to fight against them.
That could be interesting. I remember hearing somebody joke about like what the Dragon Ball Z cycle was, but I can't remember what step 1 is. It's I don't know. It's like it's meet fight befriend, meet fight befriend.
Pretty much.
In Dragon Ball Z, in Dragon Ball, it was meet, try to eat, try to kill, maybe become friends.
Yeah. I don't know. Time. We'll just have to see what happens as we go. But yeah, hasn't been quite as compelling as I thought it would be. Next week's episode, I should have mentioned this for. I'm going to mention it for Kamen Rider as well. So next week's episode of Teo is called Abandoned Kaiju, and the synopsis on the Ultra Wiki says the members of the astronomy club managed to narrowly escape danger, but something seems off with Emma. Meanwhile, Ibuki and Tomobechi accidentally find a clue regarding the origin of the bird kaiju, Vermilios, and begin searching for its source, only to discover an unbelievable truth at the end of their trail. To stop the destruction caused by Vermilios, Becci rushes into action, whatever that means. And then next week's episode of... Where did it go? Buried here someplace. What's next week's episode of... I'm just going to scroll down. Oh, here it is. Next week's episode of ZEZTZ is called... Well, it's called Rest. So we saw a bit of a trailer for that one. No. Today was Save. This week was Save. Next week is Rest. So we'll see what happens. But before we go, I do think we should do a little bit of housekeeping with everybody. So you, Chris, may or may not be here next week because you're gonna what?
Hold up. No, I had some hope for you guys because I was looking something up because we mentioned Dragon Ball and Christopher Sabat had done directed the dubbing for like the English dubs of the Ultramans before.
Mm-hmm.
He's voicing a character coming up.
Oh.
Dan Moriboshi / Ultra 7.
What? Wait, what? Did they just spoil this?
I was looking at it.
Is going to be in Teo?
That's what it's looking like. He's going to be voicing, from what I'm seeing online, he has been somewhere credited for being the voice of Dan Moriboshi / Ultra 7 for Ultraman Teo.
That's nuts. Anyway, I should mention that Zero special is supposed to be out sometime in August, so we may have to do include that in the live stream for that week. Also, I have been told supposedly by you, Mr. Sentai Guy Sir, that on August 22nd, or long overdue, like belated birthday gift exchange is supposed to be on that day.
Yes.
So I'm, the Metal Don and I are still waiting on stuff from you. Just saying.
I know.
Yeah. But anyway, the other thing, so we have those to look forward to. You may or may not be on next week. We were joking about it earlier, as you are going to be visiting Saiyan Girl at in Chicago at Fan Expo Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And you may be able to go meet our boy Johnny Young Bosch, which I'm excited about.
Yes.
You'll have to let us know how that goes next week. We may have to do an extra long stream again to hear how all of that went. If you're able to be on, otherwise it'll just be Jake and I, and we'll complain
Hopefully,
about Teo some more. And
I'm hoping if I can get up there to meet him. It's a huge expo, and
it's a giant. I've been to that con. It's giant.
as popular as Johnny Young Bosch is, he's also competing with the likes of Kurt Russell, Mel Gibson. So it may not be that hard to get to him, and hopefully, I'm hoping I'll be able to arrange to get a shout out. And I want to get him to say something and to end it with saying Henshin like he says Bonkai.
Yeah. The Principal Saiyans becomes an Ultraman. Yeah. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, she's making
Yeah,
sure
I
that
want-
He says he's totally going to meet him.
yeah.
I'd like
Yeah.
to meet him.
I would
Yeah.
love to too. I want to interview him. That's what I want to do. I
Yeah.
want to
I am
That'd be
going to
cool.
try to see if we can somehow find out a way to get in
Yeah,
contact so we
I
might be able
would,
to
I would
arrange
totally
that.
do that. I would
'Cause
totally
he-
do that.
I
and
mean,
take
he
the
has been involved directly or indirectly with literally pretty much everything that
He's done the Tokusatsu trifecta.
Ultraman, Master or Kamen Rider, Master, because he's voiced some Kamen Riders in video games, so that counts.
It was in
He's
Dragon.
also-
It was Kamen Rider. It was in a Kamen Rider Dragon Knight video game.
Yeah, he's also been linked with Masked Rider, such Kamen Rider Black. Of course, obviously he's been a Power Ranger. He's been an Ultra.
Yeah. He's done. He's one of the few who's done the trifecta.
I wouldn't
The
be
other- what?
I wouldn't be surprised if somehow he's not connected to Metal Heroes in some way, shape, or form.
I don't know. Give me a minute. I'll see if I can figure it out. But no. So that's going to be going on next week, 22nd. Might be doing finally doing that birthday gift exchange. But we need to get the rest of season 1 out. So I expect to have those episodes just getting cranked out like crazy because we made a trailer for 5 like a year and a half ago.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, but life just has not been kind to you. And
No, it has
then
not.
I'm thinking we are going to set a recording date for when we are going to get back into recording season 2. We have a new format that we're going to be using for that. But I need to know so I can start watching Time Ranger.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have to do Time Ranger in 10 episode chunks.
Yes.
I'm just saying we need to know that. I'm guessing that our recording with everything, with you needing to get settled and everything else, I think we will start recording in September. I'm not promising when the episodes will be released, but we're not going to be doing any of this nonsense with these long gaps between episodes. So that way, I think we can, very properly join because HPV3 is technically part of the Culture Box network, but they haven't done a lot of promotion for us because we haven't been putting out a whole lot of new episodes. We've been doing these live streams to keep stuff going, to keep the, our audience engaged, which again, one of the best ideas Jake has ever had. I'm so glad that he came up with this.
Another thing I want to do, because she's definitely, we both want to meet Christopher Sabat. However, if I do, I'll also try to get information about how we could maybe set up an interview with him because of his ties to Ultraman.
Yeah.
As far as dubbing it, and maybe we can find out some more
information. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are plans in the works. We just need everybody's lives to calm down a little bit. That's what this is gonna.
All right. We need my life and your life to calm down. The Metal Daddy has everything under control.
Oh well, of course he does. Of course he does. But I'm not the one who has to be harassed to get work done.
I do plenty of work, sir. That's one of the problems.
Podcast work.
Yes.
Yeah. So stuff is in the works. We haven't forgot about it. I'm already racking my brain about what I want to do for season 3. I've written down multiple options. We'll see what strikes my fancy when we get there. I do also have an announcement to make. This is relevant to your interests, Henshin Heroes. I've been invited as a guest on a couple of podcasts in the next few weeks because my life can't not be busy. And one of them is the Redeemed Otaku podcast with my friend Bex, and we will be talking about SSSS.Gridman.
Nice.
Yeah. And I have a bit of a story. I acquired a Blu-ray copy of that, but I had to get the Region B disc because it was infinitely cheaper than the Region A disc because screw Crunchyroll.
Also, when we do the birthday reveals for each other's gifts, I'm also going to show you some other gifts that I got that's pertaining to the show. And I could probably guarantee you that one of them will end up being a selection for my season 3.
Oh no. Oh no. Well, here's the thing. I was thinking about this rewatching, I should say, SSSS Gridman. If we were ever to do the Gridman Toku show, would I have to include all the animes? Because, mild spoiler, SSSS Gridman is a secret sequel to the Toku show.
No, you can
Which-
do it separate.
Yeah, which means Dyna Zenon and Gridman Universe, the movie, all tie to it. Or would we have to do it like,
No,
or
no,
would we have to
'cause
do a thing
you do
like,
it
I don't
right.
know, like we can only do one season, like we only do one season.
We-
so we just do the
what-
Toku
what
show
we
Yeah,
and
that'd be
the
like if you
animes
did
later.
VR Troopers, you do season 1 and
Well, I don't
season 2.
think, and I don't
different
think those are very long seasons either.
If you include all of them together, it's 39 episodes for the Toku show, 12 for the Gridman anime, 12 for Dyna Zenon, and then movie. So it's basically an additional 25 episodes. So you're looking at like 60 plus episodes worth of material.
What we could do is do one of our regular standard things for the Toku show, and then we could do an HPV3 MIFE kind of mashup where we don't go episode by episode. We just talk about like the anime seasons or
I don't know.
whatever
I don't
as
know.
one,
Either
as
that-
one thing, and
Yeah.
then for
It's
More
either
like-
that or the animes are separate, like it's a season 2, because that seems reasonable to me. But yeah, I'm making a list of things. Unfortunately, one of them that I was considering, I don't know if I want to watch it again. Not because really, I was just mildly disappointed with it, so I don't know. But we'll find out. We'll find out. Anyway, wow, I did not expect the stream to go this long, but we got Chris back on here, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised. And we had extra material to go over.
yeah, I've been told I don't know when to shut up.
Well, why do you think I have time limits on the show?
Because
For
you and I neither one of us knows when to shut up.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm gonna be hard nosed about it, because we went against the time limits a handful of times. That's why I have redone the format for the show.
Yeah.
So we're really enforcing those time limits, because when we did the Guyver stuff, man,
God.
we were just like, time limit. We're not getting distracted anymore, and it worked out really well, actually.
Of course, that also because we were watching 3 anime that covered the same thing over and over. So like, we talked about this. Let's move on.
Basically, yeah, but man, we really got to get those Guyver episodes out, because it seems like in the year that, or more like year and a half now that we recorded those episodes, there's a lot more Guyver love going on right now.
Yeah.
Bro, we're getting a Blu-ray of Guyver 2 now. That didn't exist a year ago.
No.
It's so wild. And we have that Guyver fan film that's getting got crowdfunded, and now I think it's being filmed right now. And it looks half decent. So yeah, there's a lot of Guyver love going on right now. The manga will never get finished, but there's a lot of Guyver love going on.
No, the manga's. Well, I don't know. They thought Hunter x Hunter would never get finished, but it's coming back. So
I don't know. I remember we were talking about that. It's just like that is the curse of the Guyver franchise. Every bit
unfinished
of
business.
every bit of it is incomplete.
Oh Lord, so much so.
All of them. There was never a third movie. Both of the animes just cut off, even though, there was clearly room for more stories. The manga's been dead for over a decade. Although now we're getting teased with the possibility of a Guyver 3 if the Blu-ray sells. Like that has been Steve Wang's like little selling point. It's just like, you want a Guyver 3? Buy the Blu-ray of Guyver 2.
I already pre-ordered it.
I did too. So
all right, gentlemen.
Did you pre-order it? Did you I got to point this way. Did you pre-order it, Chris?
Not yet, but I'm going to.
I was going to say it's on Amazon, so.
All right. We should probably start wrapping this up. It's tomorrow.
You got to buy Time Ranger first on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's still on Amazon
hurry.
and it's still retail. I don't know how, but it's still. Anyway, we're done. See you next week, folks. Hopefully, at least me and Jake.
Oh, we gotta do our sign off.
Oh, that is true. That is true. Thank you for remembering that. So, what did we learn this week, gentlemen? Don't pick up kaiju poop.
Get better riders for Ultraman.
It pays to be a sloppy slurper, and may the power protect you.
Oh, God. So. Thank you for listening to Henshin Power V3, a podcast produced and hosted by Nathan March and
Christopher Reiner
And Jake Hambrick.
If you'd like to send us feedback, we'd love to hear from you. So email us at henshin.power.v3@gmail.com.
Follow us on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter. Thank you, Danny DeManna, where our handle is @HenshinPowerV3, and join our official Facebook groups, Power Rangers Legacy and the Marco Out Lounge. We also have a Discord server called the Marco Out Lounge. Check the show notes for links to all of them.
Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and other great podcatchers. The podcast logo was designed by Rebecca Hutchins. Follow her on Instagram at super_r_illustrations.
Our theme song is a Joe the Hero remix by GVG Kid, which is based on a track from the video game Beautiful Joe.
All film and audio clips belong to their respective copyright holders, and no infringement is intended or implied.
Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Podchaser to spread the word about the show. And until next time,
Schwash!